Time for yet another episode, and this time, it's the episode somewhere after 6 and somewhere before 8 of the Blizzard Forecast. Anchors ahoy! Now, as you can probably see, before I say hello to the people that are here, I have a quest for you. So this is your quest. Trolden and Parv, as we're saying, Ahar and anchors away, me hearties! You now need to talk in a pirate voice while you introduce yourselves. Say hello, gents. And now, apparently, you may be able to hear me.
I just did the biggest pirate arc ever, and no one even heard it.
No, but that's because that was your trial pirate ahar, or whatever it was. So now you get to do it again. So we have a drum roll, please, for Parvis's patented pirate persona. Arc. That's not very impressive, really, is it? Trolden, you can do better. Shiver my timbers and all that.
That's gonna sound really bad.
Really? I can't possibly believe it. Well, tell you what then, folks, if you're going to skip the nautical fun and games, of course, we're saying that because it is alpha time for Draenor. We've been waiting for this.
I thought it's because I was a seaman.
We'd quite like to ship you off to sea, Parvis, get you rowing towards a deserted island and see how long it takes you to swim back. But sadly, we don't get to do that today. We do, however, get to talk about lots of stuff, so we have things coming up. Now, we're going to be playing a HOTS game, as always. And are we going to win this one? Is this going to be successful?
Hopefully.
I don't know what it's like to win anymore. I don't know if I want to win. Does winning feel good? I can't remember. I'm not sure. I'll try anything once.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But of course, as well as that, we're going to be talking about Hearthstone, and we're going to have Pseudo, who's currently doing production duties in the background, talking to everybody about things that are happening. And indeed, we're going to be looking at a new card. It's Voidcaller and card name changes. And I do believe you were with the team this week, Trolden. Did you have fun?
Yep, I did. That was awesome.
Well, we'll be waiting for your Hearthstone goodness coming up shortly. And we will be logging in and we will be looking at the first few minutes of Warlords of Draenor live on the show. I get to pilot a brand new character to see exactly what it looks like when you take that templated character and get ourselves going. So, with all of that to look at, perhaps we should start with a little bit of news. We have various things that have happened this week, of course. Alpha Waves is the big one. I don't know how many people watching have been lucky enough to get themselves an invite. They are limited at the moment. But we have secured a couple of them here, so you'll be able to see us out and about the place in Draenor. Azeroth Choppers has drawn to its conclusion. What do people think? Did they prefer the Horde bike or the Alliance bike? Trolden?
Horde bike. Alliance bike looked so bad.
I just have to so disagree with your incorrect opinion. But of course, Parvis is going to set the record straight. Parvis, Horde bike?
Do I have to decide
Alliance bike? I think you do.
I do. Well,
we're not going to worry
about... very unsafe, and you should always drive a car instead. But I do like the Alliance car. The Alliance car was nice.
Get out of here, Alliance scums. Don't want to see here.
So Parvis, we're now using your vote as the worldwide decider that obviously has the casting veto versus the entire population.
Oh, I'm savouring the power.
That sounds about right, really.
I can wait. We can wait. I don't know. I think, honestly, the whole bike did look cool. The whole bike did look better. The Alliance bike wasn't as ugly as people were saying, though. It wasn't as good.
I actually preferred the sleek lines of the Alliance bike. Despite the fact that I'm Alliance, it was because the bike was aesthetically better. But it didn't quite seem to get its share of the votes.
I think it's because, Horde is kind of badass and mean-looking in its aesthetics, and, a bike is a badass, meanie kind of thing. Nobody who's nice rides a motorbike. Everyone who rides a motorbike is a meanie. So, we can have Mr. Paladin, comes along on his bike. No, it's gonna be the Horde dude. It's the big cow with spikes on his shoulders, you know? That's what you want. So, yeah.
So what should the Alliance be riding? I mean, we're not going to be driving around in the virtual equivalent of a Nissan Micra, are we? What's the imagery that's associated with Alliance vehicles?
I think a nice 1.2 litre Fiat Punto would suit an Alliance player.
I would just like to say, for the benefit of Twitch and others out there, other alternate brands of low-powered motor vehicles are also available.
Maybe one of those like hybrid cars that half electric. When you go downhill, it charges up. Like that might be a good one.
Are we now going to be? I suppose there are the eco-friendly factions. Is this going to be instituted by the Druids of Azeroth?
Actually, this will make a lot of sense. So when you leave Stormwind, there's like all that grass out in Goldshire, You'll never see anyone mowing the lawn, right? It's because everyone on the Alliance drives those sit-down lawnmowers when you're off the server, and that's how they look after it. So it's sit-down lawnmowers. That's what they'd be driving, I think. That'd be it.
And I just
Druids
thought...
of Azeroth.
You can run over gnomes with it as well.
Druids of Azeroth is definitely going to be next show.
That's just bonus points. I personally thought it was just dwarven rams eating the grass all the time, but maybe that was just me. I never knew that was a problem.
On that? The next reality TV show that Blizzard should be like the Kalimdor Shore or something like that, and it's like all the orcs and stuff like going off to like some party town on like I don't know Booty Bay or whatever. Yeah, it should be something like that. That's
so we've got the secret life of Azerothian characters when we're not controlling them, because we all know they're actually real. Yes.
Well, you can never verify it. The toys come out the cupboard when you're not looking. You can never ever prove it wrong. So I think we can that can hold up.
And if a tree falls down in the forest, does it actually make a sound? I think the answer is yes, because people have used listening equipment, but that's another story. We'd better get ourselves started. Have we warmed our fingers up to rustle up a little bit of hots?
My fingers are ready.
Your fingers are ready. Well, you're not logged in.
No, we're going to start doing all of this stuff now, and I've possibly been logged out myself, so I'm going to be told from our magical producer when I can start to grab the screen. Incoming transitions. Winning game coming up pretty time soon. Okay, we're going to fire ourselves up a screen now. And in we go. And I appear to be there.
Today.
And we have a party invite. Now, I'm going to have to sit and look across diagonally, so that's going to be my excuse for anything I do that isn't perfect.
Okay, that's fine. My excuse is YOLO every time I make a mistake.
So,
or you just blame the carry.
Let's turn around and say, what is our plan? What are we playing? How are we synergizing?
Okay,
I'm trying something different.
Let's play Tryhard Comp.
I think we should just go team fight heroes and just wombo combo. I think that's the best thing to do.
I'm gonna play Uther. So someone has to pick. Does anyone have Kerrigan?
I don't have Kerrigan.
I have Kerrigan, but I've only played her like twice. I was horrible with her.
Do you want to just play AoE heroes and smash them? Like, if you play, can you play Arthas, Trolden? Because my hero's great with Arthas because I can hold them still for your skill shot with my mummies.
Hopefully, I'm gonna be good.
I mean, are you comfortable with him?
I haven't played him, but I'm pro, so handle it.
Yeah, let's do it. Whatever, YOLO.
Okay, we're diving in.
YOLO is French for Carpe Diem, by the way, for those of you who are French.
You need more accent there. YOLO. Maybe.
Le Lolo.
Les Yols?
Yolorino.
Iliol. El Yolio. No.
Suddenly all French people quit that stream.
Yeah, I would like to apologize for doing horrific things to that language.
I'm going to go a build on this guy where I get bribe and I just spam out one lane. So if I can go solo...
No, please, no.
No? You don't want me to do that?
We're not going wombo combo.
Just team fight, please.
Just go what, sorry?
Just go team fight, Nazebo, Witch Doctor.
Okay.
I usually take... The first talent is the one that increases hero health and mana permanently when you kill something with debuff.
Yeah.
Then the second one, I don't remember. I can wait a sec. I'm gonna open Heroes Nexus talents.
I mean, I can do that if you want. It's just really strong in games because you push out one lane and then you buy mercenaries when you fight.
Yeah, but that way you can 2v1 someone like easily.
Okay, I'll take a build. Let's do it.
Okay, we have a plan. We know what we're doing.
So
Yeah, just
first one.
Yeah.
First one is Death Ritual.
Mm-hmm.
They permanently gain 4 health and 2 mana. When a unit dies and under Voodoo Ritual, it's like you have to auto attack, and your auto attack procs your passive. So you just have to auto attack minions, and you're gonna get health of them. Then the second one.
Go.
Second one is Envenom, probably. Wait a sec.
I'll just go for AoE damage. That's what I'll go for.
No. Go for Envenom. It's the best one.
Okay, I'll go for Envenom. What does that do?
The Trolden has spoken.
Poison.
Okay.
You just poison an enemy
Totes.
and deal a lot of damage. It really synergizes really well with your passive and your skills in general. And the ultimate is definitely the Spirit.
Okay,
Not sure.
now we're being
name is.
joined by a Zeratul and a Tassadar. Good, bad, indifferent? How do we find that comp?
Good, because we haven't got that bloody Sergeant Hammer, and we haven't got a creep.
Murky.
Abatha.
I tell you
Abatha's
what,
just a creep.
I so have to play the Hammer again next time we play, because that's still my favourite character.
Oh, well. You know, you can like him if you like.
What is there not to like about a massive battle tank?
I just think he's very situational.
Yeah.
And when you're in a matchmaking system where you can't see enemy picks, situational heroes are not necessarily the best thing to bank on.
So here's a question we haven't ever really discussed, is do we think there should be systems whereby we can see enemy picks?
Yeah, I think that a competitive play will require that as well, because without drafting, you're a little bit stuck with things.
Oh my god!
Oh no, they're all top. They're all top.
Run away! Let's not get caught out.
Wow. Okay, someone should go bot. We need one bot, and then we just the 4 defend top.
Okay,
That way we pull ahead on XP. Mount if you're going Mizpah.
Would of course
Stop
help.
feeding Parv, please.
Sorry?
Stop feeding.
Stop feeding?
Yeah.
I
hasn't
nearly
eaten
got
today.
first blood as well.
Now they have a Draenor down here as well, so it's Draenor versus Draenor.
Okay. Your mission is just don't die. But
Yeah.
as long as you're collecting XP, you're fine.
Okay, now I'm going to struggle too much whilst doing this to let people see too much else on the map, of course, because it's my screen that everyone's able to see.
Well, it's better that you don't die than they see,
Okay.
because no one wants to watch people die.
Least of all me when it's me doing the dying. But everyone has a talent. So we need some commentary, guys. What's happening up top?
Okay, up top they're committing quite heavily to push strat, but my hero's actually pretty good against push strats. There we go.
I died.
You died. I don't know why we're committing so hard to this. Well, we're 3
I
for
have
3.
no idea.
No, actually, we're not 3 for 3.
We're probably gonna have a team fight.
Yeah.
And I lag. Can you hear me? by
Trolden
the way?
has left the game, apparently. Are you running away, Trolden? No, he's
No,
still
I'm
there.
here.
Okay. Busy not dying. It's pretty even here. We're about even health. It's pretty much just a stalemate in the middle.
We're 1 level ahead though.
Well, they've got 4 kills. We have 0 at the moment.
This is
Now, I've
terrible.
just gained my advanced optics, a bit more range. That's going to help, because he's had that increased range, of course, for a little while. And I
Did
haven't.
you say I go in Venom? You want me to go in Venom? Yeah.
Yeah, and
Probably.
Venom. Yeah.
I took the Envenom.
Now, he's just starting to nick ahead here by landing more skill shots at max range, so sooner or later I am going to have to pull back to not die. Now, undead are spawning in the mines.
They are indeed.
I'm gonna go into the mines because I'm so good at it. At
Okay.
mines. I mean Arthas, not me personally.
Okay, I'm going to go top my health up here.
Okay. They're really trying to push. They're really trying to push. They're not contesting the mines at all, are they?
No, and I don't think this player here is going to be
Falstad's
leading.
there. Falstad's there.
He is gaining the advantage here on skill shots, so he is going to he's slowly pushing me back.
I think they should just let me kill the waves, and everyone else top should go to mines, because I can stop them with toads.
Still not in the mines down here.
Zeratul in their mines. Zeratul. Okay. No, it's Tassadar, sorry, not Zeratul.
Someone's getting wrecked. By the looks of it. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, zapping back to get some health back, seeing what's happening elsewhere on the map. I see you, Parv.
Yeah, I'm just pushing out the lane, trying to get XP advantage. Okay, they're getting mercs. They got mercs.
Yeah, I see Javi grabbing mercs over there. Okay, is it time to change what we're doing? Maybe meet up again?
Maybe, I mean, is it time to team fight yet, is the question.
They're now 7-9, so they're continuing to pull further ahead while we're waiting. Okay, we have mercs down here, which may well be useful. They're 23, 55, 57, so they are now gaining on the golem as well. So if we're going to stay up top, we need to do something to make that matter.
Okay, I take the regen before I die.
This is looking terrible.
It is, yeah.
They've got ultimates. Thanks for blocking.
I didn't realize you were going to run into them there. I thought they were going to run back. I didn't mean to block you in there, bro.
Do you know that you can actually cancel the
can I cancel
W?
it after it's been
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm moving now.
Just press it again.
It's a dead. He's dead, surely.
We still have Raynor down bottom now with Banishes. I can't go there, it's going to be 2-on-1, and we've just walked into it, so probably going to die here. Running away, but not sure it's going to be enough. Run faster. He's bound to get me here, he has.
Well, I almost stopped him.
Okay, folks, it is 12 versus 10. Feeling very passive down here and not necessarily gaining an
I'm
advantage.
gonna
in the
take
process.
Syndragoza.
Okay, go for it.
I missed it. No, I actually didn't.
We finally get ourselves another talent, and it's the Hyperion over here. Heading towards top.
You shouldn't probably use it like that.
No, I shouldn't. I thought, though, that we could get some lockdown and realize the Sergeant Hammer was coming in there.
Run away, Trolden.
Running.
We managed to nab that kill there. If we escaped, we got an advantage. Albeit a small one. Gonna try and take this vision
That was
point.
close.
Did you escape? Yes, you did.
Did they get more, they got more zombies than us?
57-23, in their favour.
How did they get more zombies when they were taking mercs?
They killed everyone in the mines, so there was nothing we could do.
Let's see.
Can I get that tank? Yes. Running away again.
Slow it down.
Everything on cooldown. Making sure I don't overcommit.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Undead defeated. 77-23. Level gap has been pulled back by 1. We all seem to be on a little bit of low health here.
We might actually come back.
This is definitely winnable. We just need to be very, very careful how we need to take smart fights now. That's what we need to do.
Okay, 2-on-1 at the top. Three on one at the top. No, they're there.
Oh my god, that damage. You can move it. You can move it, Parv. You did not use that
ultimate. I did not use this ultimate before. I always took the other one.
You can actually move it, and it's amazing.
So if I right click, it won't move my hero and stop the channeling.
Yeah,
correct.
It will move the ghost.
Okay, how far is the range on him? I still killed 2 guys with him.
You can move it like till the end of the spell, so it's unlimited.
Picking another talent. Now they have their tank just sitting there protecting the space I want to attack, so I've got to be a little careful here. Our golem is, of course, in there as well. And we got the Just got a little bit of audio bleeding through from somewhere.
Kill him. Kill him.
Yeah, I've poisoned him.
Trying to run away here, not sure I'm going to be able to. Being chased.
Thank you!
Fuck. They're meant to go.
Get away. No, died.
Sorry, Trolden, I've really screwed up with this game. Maybe I should have played the Pudga.
Well, it's always tricky with playing a build you don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but that's basic stuff, like not blocking your teammates.
So it's 14-15. Their golem is about to go down. Ours, of course, has. Are they going to get through that gate? Yes, it looks like they are. The golem is dead.
Okay. I think we should just 5-man.
As you know,
that's the best option we've got now.
They do have a push going on at the bottom.
We should initiate a team fight bot.
Yep.
I have a Syndra Gyoza.
Was your ultimate on cooldown, Mizpah?
I'd used it
During that.
just then.
Yeah, but we need to use them all at the same time, I think.
Okay.
I think it's better if we do that, because otherwise we get some of them low, but we don't quite finish any of them off.
Yeah, we're so low, everyone.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting boned this game. What on earth happened? We died too much.
Okay, mine's opening in 29 seconds.
Let's get mercs now, if we can. Oh, hello.
They have all of them there. Am I on cooldown? Cooldown with the
trapped
ultimate,
everyone.
29 seconds.
I may well be dead here. Just leave me. Leave me. Leave me.
Pulling back.
Oh my god.
Do we want to use ultimates? 10 seconds
This is
till I can. They've definitely got critical mass when they're together.
Are these guys a 5-stat? Because, I mean, they run as 5 at the very beginning.
Who knows? It could well be. Right, going to struggle to actually defend here too much.
They're all mid in the same position, and then they all move across.
Yeah, you would think they're probably, at least they're communicating well at the very least, and dead. No real way that I can see to stand there and defend.
No! Oh.
Oh dear. We had so many high hopes.
Well, it's not necessarily over. We get a lot of XP for killing these guys at the moment. And they're yellow diving us.
Yeah, 16, 19. One of them dead, 3 of us dead.
Two of them dead. That's
We're dead.
Pepperonis.
Yeah, no.
Oh my
enough
god,
damage.
we got owned.
There we go. Well, that
We should go again.
disappointing explosion. It's time to wander back to the studio. These things work so much better when we're offline, Parv. Is it the curse of the Parvinator heading back?
I don't know what it is. Like, that was just like, we went top and there was 5 of them top, and then they capitalized really well on the fact that they were like 2-3 kills up at that point. And then, you know, the mines happened and they got a lot on us, and they got mercs. So it was just, that was a very, very steep downhill game.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the kill stats, I don't think there was anyone that actually had more takedowns than deaths.
No.
6, 7, 7, 8, 7, 5, 5, 7, and 3, 3.
Well, like 2 minutes in, they all had like 4 takedowns each, and we had 0.
Okay, that's going to make it a little tricky. So let's think about this tactically for a moment. Was this just a case of being outplayed play by play? Did we do anything horribly wrong?
Jordan, what do you think?
Well, I think I wasn't that great at the start of the game because I haven't played Arthas since Rework. It was a bit different. I could have done a better job. And they were pre-made, so that made the game easier for them. And also, yeah, I think that's it. I think they're just pre-made. They're more organized.
Okay, so one thing we can.
I think you did well, by the way, Mizpah. I actually think you did definitely the right thing.
Okay, I felt as if I was being very, very passive. Lots of running away.
But the reason I sent someone bot was
contributing much.
basically we lost a team fight top, yeah, so we're behind on XP very early. So the best thing to do is to play defensively top, but stop them from pushing in as a 5-man, and send one person bot to collect all the XP extra that you can get.
Yeah.
So the idea was at least they'd send someone bot, and then they can't push 5v4 top. If they push 5v4 top, we've got towers. Early game towers are really powerful, so they can help you stop the push.
Yeah, I was noting, though, that when I was basically fighting Draenor versus Draenor, he was kind of landing the skill shots as I was firing and knocking me back, and I was missing. So just his positioning and timing was, faster, quicker, better. Mm-hmm. Which meant that I kept having to run back and top up health. But we did manage to avoid dying in the process. So
I mean, that's okay. As long as you don't die, you're getting XP. So it's not too bad. I think you only had 3 deaths in that. I think you played quite well, to be honest.
Fine.
I think the only point I'd say is that when everyone, if we're doing a wombo combo team fight, and everyone puts down their ultis, get your ulti down at the same time, because what will happen is people get low and start to leave the fight. So then if you leave your ulti to later, they go back their regen or whatever, or they decide to get out, and then you don't get anyone. It has to be compounding.
So this is where we can help ourselves out a lot more by being a little bit more vocal. Actually call for it. So, hey, have we got our ults ready? Ready, 3, 2, 1, go. All the rest of it. It's a little bit like raiding, just not raiding, because I know what I'm doing in raiding.
I think it's a case of, if you see big ultimates go down, you just put yours down at the same time.
Right.
It's just sort of like an unspoken thing. Like if someone initiates and there's 5 people there and there's 5 of you waiting, then it's kind of a given to put down all your spells. Yeah. And get your cooldowns off.
I still fight 2 small gremlins, one of which is running in the window mode. Quite often I go to scroll the screen and the mouse jumps onto the second monitor, and then it takes me a few seconds to
right.
find it again. Now, I kind of have to do that because of streaming. It's a lot easier when I've got it full screen, not windowed. Minor point, though. It is easy to lose the mouse cursor when a billion things are going on at high speed. Or at least I find it so. But we shall see. More practice required. Not enough playtime this week for the Mizpah, so we'll try and fix that one. But what do we think? Anything we want to comment on beyond that? Or is it time to move things on a notch?
Are you talking about Heroes of the Storm in general, or
Yes. What heroes news do we want to impart?
there is nothing happening right now, but someone from, no, I think it was Trixler, he said on official forums that they're changing Murky a little bit.
Okay.
They have some internal builds right now where they're testing the changes, and something's gonna go on live soon.
Okay, well, I haven't yet managed to play all the characters out. We shall be working on this. We've got a quick note coming from the wing, Trolden. Can you turn yourself up a notch? Boost your output a little. You're a little quiet. Yeah. But I think we'll switch ourselves a topic, I do believe, because it's time to move in to a little bit of Hearthstone.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Top Draws version, or segment within Blizzard Forecast, where we discuss all things Hearthstone related. And basically, we are the three amigos, the three musketeers, the three who shall not be named, but I'm going to do it anyway. And if I cause the end of the world, so be it. So I present to you the luck of the draw, myself, Pseudo. Hi. And I am joined by the illustrious, the immortal, the omnipotent, he who makes teapot songs worthy. And if you're interested about what that is, you'll have to wait until Saturday and watch our Top Draw show about a different card game. But Mr. Dr. Marshmellows.
Greetings, mortals.
And obviously we are joined by, well, someone who couldn't join us last week, so we had to troll him the entire time that he was gone. But we are joined now this week by Hearth Mad Bomber Trolden, the Mister.
Hi guys, I'm Mad Bomber, the Flaming for 2 mana. Hope you enjoyed today's show.
The Flame Imp for 2 mana?
Yeah, that's basically what Mad Bomber is.
And there you go, comparison starting round out of the gate. And for us, we have news. So, we missed you last week, Trolden. We need you to do it again this week for us. Ask for the news.
Marsh, what's the news?
What is news?
News?
What is news? News is basically there's only one thing in the news this week that I have found or seen, and that's that the renaming of the Shaman card we looked at last week. Basically, it got renamed from Rebirth to Reincarnate, I believe.
Yes.
Pseudo, do you have pictures?
I do not have pictures, but it has been done.
Wow,
Do you know,
saves the meta game. I think
the rename
revolution, and Hearthstone is going in the right direction. What do you think?
So the rename is completely saved meta.
But you know what this reminds me of? Usually when you play World of Warcraft, they never change anything for other classes. They always change something for other classes, like warlocks and stuff. But all they do for shamans is changing names, changing animations, and changing icons for spells. They're doing the same thing in Hearthstone. They're like, oh, let's change names before the card even got released. This is fun.
Well, see, I kind of found it interesting that they decided to change it, period, because honestly, once you reveal it, kind of leave it alone. But apparently this is based on the community going, oh, it shouldn't be named that.
Yeah, community always goes ape shit crazy because of those things. But actually, it pissed me off a little bit because Rebuild is actually a druid spell in World of Warcraft.
So it's Reincarnate?
No. There's no Reincarnate. No.
It's not Reincarnate.
Didn't it used to be called Reincarnate? The Ankh? What is effectively Ankh?
Rebuild is the battle res for druids.
Rebirth.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure back when I was playing, Reincarnate was the ability where you used the Ankh and you got to come back.
You mean the
Back
Onk?
in my days.
Yeah, back in my day.
Yes!
Back in my day, everyone just calls it Ankh because you needed an Ankh to actually use it.
Onk.
This is for people that used to play vanilla.
Yeah.
But you used to have a regent to actually come back to life, as it was. I'm pretty sure it's called Reincarnate. I would Google it, but as we've discussed before, my keyboard makes Pseudo angry.
Remember when you had to have a powder to use Vanish? Oh my god, let's not make it nostalgia World of Warcraft discussion. And
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Don't you remember the good old days of picking locks and all that stuff just to get the fade leaf so that you could mill it? And I love that. But that's the next segment on the Blizzard Forecast. Let's not impede upon their desire to speak of things Hearthstone, World of Warcraft related. Let us move into the Hearthstone things. Now, I will point out they have put up on Twitter very recently, and I don't have it available in front of me, a list of competitions coming up that are community-sponsored competitions for Hearthstone.
That comes every week, you find.
But that's what I was going to say. It's an every week thing, and if you're really interested into it, make certain that you go to Twitter and you are following Play Hearthstone, because honestly, that's an amazing source of information. It's got crazy things. Now,
they also post it on Facebook, by the way.
Yeah.
So you can like them on Facebook.
Absolutely. Yay! Marketing done. So we move into the card. Go ahead.
Bad advertising, though.
Yes, we did that. It went there. It just happened.
This is Josie, Marsh, and Trolden in today's show, and we're advertising Blizzard. Blizzard
Yeah,
forecast.
that's what we did.
On the Blizzard Forecast.
Let's be honest, it's the Blizzard Forecast talking about all the Blizzard IPs. What did you expect to happen, really? Let's be honest.
We were all going to make milkshakes.
I love milkshakes.
Sure. So, Trolden, does your milkshake in fact bring all the boys to the yard?
Absolutely.
And moving on from that massive bombshell, we now move into the card that was released for Curse of Naxxramas for, of all classes, the Warlock, known as Voidcaller. I am going to have to sit back and enjoy this one, because this is one of those rare circumstances where we have, and it's not really rare in MMO Buff, but we have two hosts who have completely differing opinions on this card. So let me start by saying, give me a yay or a nay to whether you think this is a good addition to the game. So, Trolden, yay or nay?
Can I say something like, meh? Like, I'm not sure if it's a...
You're not allowed to say meh. After the... No. After the conversation we had pre-record, you're not allowed to say meh after I had, like, a massive soap opera bitch fit about how
yay.
bad this card is.
Yay.
Thank you.
So Trolden says yay. Dr. Marshmellows, what are your thoughts? Do you believe this is a good addition to the game?
Well, I'm definitely not going to go meh. I'm definitely not going to do that. This card annoys me. This card annoys me is what it does. It looks good on the surface, but it's shit.
No. That's the mage card. This card can actually be good.
Whoa.
Get the turn.
Wait. We're going to take this differently than we've done previous shows, because you guys like to, bicker, and I love it. So here's the thing. Trolden, you get one sentence to state, will you stop pounding on your keyboard? Thank you.
Okay.
Correct.
Trolden, you get one sentence in which to actually explain why you believe that this card can be good. One sentence, and then we're going to let Marsh respond to it. Then I'm going to give him one sentence to prove his point and let you respond to it.
One sentence.
Yeah.
I have no idea, seriously. I hate zoo warlocks. Is that a good sentence?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so Zoo Warlocks are the big thing why you think that this card is going to be a good addition, is the fact that this makes people not want to play Zoo Warlocks?
It promotes other decks rather than zoo warlocks.
Okay.
And that's a good thing. It promotes demon decks for warlocks, and even I'm not sure about demon decks in Curse of Naxxramas, but when later on they add more demons to the game, it might work. It might.
Do you know what a
it
run-on
might not
sentence
work
is?
next expansion, but it's a good card to have. What did you say? Excuse me.
He's picking on you, saying that you're using one sentence to do one really long sentence called a run-on sentence. So he's
Okay.
picking on you.
Cheating. I'm just cheating.
Right. So we have our run-on sentence. Rebuttal time, Dr. Marshmellows.
I don't need a sentence. All I need is one word. Yeti. That's it.
Okay. So we have Zoo Warlock. And we have Yeti. You know what my problem with this card is?
What?
You pretty much mentioned it, Trolden. At this current moment in time, there's not enough viability to
Demon.
just create a demon type deck. And I find that to be sad, which means I really want to see what
disagree.
they bring out. Hold on.
I think there's lots of viability for a demon-based deck. No, you don't get to talk. I get to talk. It's my talk now. I only got one word. I think you can more than fairly create a demon-based deck. It's going to be shit, but you can do it.
That's my problem. That is my problem with this. Remember, one of the key things that we try to do here, at least within this segment of the show, what they do with the rest of the Blizzard forecasts on the bookends of what our show is up to them. But one of the things we try to do is, that's not true. We try to educate. And if we see cards being brought out that are not teaching well styles of play or are promoting painful styles of play that could frustrate players, I kind of feel it's our job to point it out. And that face was awesome, Trolden.
But I think that the card is actually might not be really great right now, but it might be in the future. And warlocks don't need cards right now. They're incredibly OP. They have the most OP hero power in the game. They have one of two most popular decks right now. For example, Zoo Warlock almost has no conjures, maybe like something like Freeze Mage, and that's it.
Original place.
Yeah, so Warlocks are incredibly OP, and they did a great job by adding a card that might be viable in future. It doesn't make Warlocks even more OP, which is great in my opinion.
Now, see, I can
look,
understand.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely going to be a place for this card somewhere, but I look at it and go, comes down the same turn as a Yeti, and gets killed by Yeti, and then whatever it drops gets killed by Yeti. That's going to be really, really unfortunate for you, because you don't get to choose. You have a demon in your hand, it's going down.
Well, see,
So
this is where I get to play I'm a newbie, I'm a casual Hearthstone player, I'm not a hardcore Hearthstone player, so I get to play out the casual. But hey, I have Jax Ramus.
Jax Ramus.
Jax Ramus. I have Jax Ramus in my deck.
there's definitely an IP shift there.
Sorry.
That's it, Pseudo's gone. So Trolden.
I get to say, Jax. I have a Draxus in my deck. Obviously, that's going to be brilliant with this card, right? Right?
In before Shadowwood Pain, right?
Right?
Ooh.
In before Shadow Madness Brewmaster, right?
Oh, that'd be amazing. No, let's do that. No, it puts Jax straight into play. You get a 315 blocker, basically.
Yeah, because
This is a Warlock killer. You just kill this shit.
Well,
Pretty fun.
that pretty much sums that one up. But the point I was trying to get to is this is basically something, as Marsh was putting on our show notes, so I'm just going to pull it in here. It removes negative battle cries, which is something that are very heavy within Warlock decks. So negative battle cries are things like, you play this card, you take 3 points of damage. which is basically what Trolden is today. He has decided to be the Flame Imp. So on top of that, if you do have Jaraxxus, you get the minion. You don't get the avatar because the battle cry is not used. And that's something you need to keep in mind. So, in my opinion, in all honesty, this is actually a very bad version of an Alarmo bot. Because an Alarmo bot is like cheaper and you get much more use out of it.
No, an Alarmo bot is a bad version of Alarmo bot.
Well, hey, the Alarmo bot is awesomely hysterical in funny decks. I actually had it win me a game. Because people just seemed to leave it alone, and I just kept getting more and more minions and more minions. It was
Leave
brilliant.
Alarmo bot alone.
The only time I've seen anyone use Alarmo bot well is Total Biscuit using
Total
it,
Biscuit.
and it's like two Alarmo bots and like all legendaries. That's how he did it. It's like, I have 5 legendaries. I wonder what's gonna happen.
Well, see, that's just it. Most people don't play it, so it's kind of fun to pull it in. And it's actually helped me win a lot of games because people are just like, it's just Alarmo bot. And it pulls out, it's actually saved my butt in a couple of games. I got knocked down to 1 health, and Alarmo bot basically got me the game win.
You know what's another fun card to put in your deck?
Mm-hmm.
Magma Rager.
Yes.
5/1.
Magma Rager in your deck.
Yeah, it's OP. You can actually give a charge and it's gonna be 7 damage minion. This is awesome. No one expects that.
Nobody expects the
Seriously,
Spanish
new meta.
Inquisition.
No one expects the 2-card 1 mana extra fireball.
You can play it in a priest deck and buff its health.
Yeah.
So amazing. Oh my god. It's a Yeti killer. If you use it and double buff it with Power Shield, it's gonna be a Yeti killer.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Please nerf.
And that leads us to anything else you guys want to make mention of the Void Caller. Anything you want people to be aware of?
I want to say it's going to see play. I don't love the card at all.
It's a
I
card.
think it's going to get people into trouble if it's played not very well. It's a very high level card. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Well, I'll take the cop out of it. It's a very high level card because we don't have enough time to discuss it. But basically, you have to, like anything that includes randomness, you need to be able to find ways to mitigate the randomness to make the most effect out of it.
Statistics, because math. Okay. Right, so that happens to be our lovely card that was brought to us from Curse of Naxxramas, at least through their reveals. And now we move into our card of the week. Card of the week. Card of the week.
Card of the week. Card of the week. Card of the week. That's going to be a thing now.
We should practice on that later.
We should probably practice that, yeah.
We should. Although, to be fair, Marsh and I were relatively in sync, which is kind of... On my screen, we were.
On your screen, maybe. On my screen, I'm like, Pseudo, shut up, I can't keep in time.
Right. So, what is our card of the week?
Trolden.
Our card of the week is Demolisher.
No, it is not!
I'm just kidding. It's Shadow of Nothing. And Mind Games.
One at a time. One at a
No, that's
time.
basically one card.
No, it's not.
Okay.
That is.
Okay. First off, for those who don't know, how do you get your hands on Shadow of Nothing?
By being very unfortunate.
You should play Mind Games versus a Miracle Rogue, and you get Shadow of Nothing. Because
Basically.
he doesn't have minions, only Leroy. And yeah, Shadow of Nothing is basically when you use Mind Games, which pulls out a random minion from enemy stack. And when he has no minions in the deck left, it pulls out Shadow of Nothing, which is 0/1. For 4 mana, incredible value. You can actually buff it
it's
up
0
in a
mana.
priest deck. You can buff it up in a priest deck with 2 Shadow and with Powered Shields, and then
And Inner Fire.
Divine Spirit, and then it's gonna be 20/20, and it's incredible. Nerf, please.
Yeah. In its defense, it costs 0 mana, not 4 mana. It's just unfortunate that you have to play mind games first to get it.
That's the 4 mana cost.
It's actually worse than a wisp. Worse than a wisp!
It is indeed
Oh my
worse than a
God.
wisp.
And we here at Top Draw would like to remind everyone, please take the wisps out of your deck. There's no point
Yes.
to them at all.
No.
Unless you're playing a Miracle Road,
No.
Advent Bank Cleave,
Nah.
and Shadow Step.
Nah.
No,
You're
but
wasting
I
deck
have to get some footage
space.
for my videos with those 16-16 Van Cleef in turn 3. That's fun, right?
Sure, why not?
Right. Okay. So basically, we've got our cards of the week. We've discussed the card that has been released. We've gone over some of the news. And honestly, I just have to simply state, go ahead, Marsh, get it in.
No, the news.
Yes,
The
sorry.
news.
We've discussed the news.
Follow the news.
The news. And that leaves me to say, Mr. Hearthmad Bomber Trolden, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for revealing to us that the milkshake does indeed bring all the boys to the yard.
My pleasure.
And Dr. Marshmellows,
Um,
thank you for teaching us English at the same time as we're trying to discover math.
I'm the worst person for run-on sentences. In Trolden's defense, I'm horrible at them as well.
I was waiting for that to just keep going as a sentence, but you ended it too soon. Too soon. And
See you soon.
that leaves me to say thank you all for watching. We'll send it back to the studio. As with every episode, this particular episode has been brought to you by Manatees, a Googleplex of gaggling geese, and of course, the Pony Club.
No ponies, please.
And whilst we're waiting for calls from Trolden to nerf all the ponies, we're going to be back in just a moment or three with some Warlords and a little bit of news. But before we do that, we're going to take ourselves a very quick little break. So, time to grab some refreshment, do what you need to do, and we'll be back with the Parvis, with the Trolden, more calls for nerf, and more Draenor in just a minute or two. Okay, folks. So, we have a few more things to run through. Let's make sure we have all of our mics unmuted, because we have a little bit more news to discuss. Now, a few things have happened on MMOBuff.TV this week, and there's a few articles lurking around that might be of interest to a few of you. We've had the conclusion to our DPS check series. Third one of those is now out. So if you are a current Warcraft player looking to make the most of your DPS in this revision of the patch, you'll want to be checking it out. We also have our Heroes of the Storm article up, and there's a few more new and shiny things coming in the next few days. But it's time to move on to the thing we have been waiting for. Trolden, any idea what that might be?
Oh, that's probably Warlords of Draenor Alpha.
It might be.
Like Warlords of Draenor and Alpha in general.
So, as we know, you've had the opportunity to log in, and I've been rather fortunate, had the opportunity to log in, and Parvis, I believe you are waiting with bated breath to get yourself running around Frostfire.
Yeah, I want to be a panda, because I didn't play Pandaria.
Well, I'm sure that option will be made available to you soon. So it's going to be interesting to view the perspectives here. So let's start. In a moment, I'm going to switch screens. You're going to get to see me drive a brand new character. I'm just literally going to hit the copy clone button, and we'll see what we've got. And we'll take a look at something very interesting that happens when you very first start. But before we do that, Trolden, I don't know how much time you've been able to spend this week, but what are your thoughts? How have you been finding your journey in Azeroth?
Okay, I made a female orc monk, which is ridiculous, but I want to check out new models. And I always play females in video games, so the only orc, orc female was a orc female, so I had to make orc female. The model is actually really great, and the best thing is that when you start playing it, it feels different. Like the animations are better, and facial expressions are the best. But when you play for like 15 minutes, it gets you feel like you're playing the same game, which is amazing. So I've been playing through the game. I've got my game crashed like 10,000 times. Then I realized you should turn off shadows, and it's gonna be fine. So I turned off shadows, and I went to some dungeon with random guys, and was awesome because the people were really friendly and were like explaining boss mechanics, and they did the damage squish is awesome. Oh my god, I'm saying so much stuff at the same time, and the world feels better right now because like it feels more alive.
Yeah.
Like they also added custom animations to different characters. So, for example, Duratan he's one of the warlords in the game. He was holding a soldier that was about to die in his hands. He was it looked like he's actually holding him, not like some ridiculous stuff you might see in the game, which was amazing, and it adds to the feels. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that sort of we can see on the screenshots. They've improved the models, they've improved the animations, and it does have impact. I guess the question is, and this is to you, Parv, is how much impact does it look as if the graphics, the animations have, having not played them? Is it something you can just pass off as, oh, they're shinier graphics? Or does it look like it's, enticing and new and going to make a difference?
In all honesty, it doesn't look like much of a game changer to me. But I didn't think WoW looked that bad even before they went through these changes. I think WoW has aged incredibly well. The art style they chose initially, the comic book art style, is kind of... It's very like kind of block colors, but it works. So things that are very ultra-real, or hyper-realistic, seem to age very badly, but things that are a bit more out there and sort of different tend to age better. So I think that's part of the reason probably why they've left it this long to do the stuff up, because they probably haven't felt the need.
Yeah, I mean, it stylistically has always worked. Although the engine was starting to show its age a little bit, but it's remarkable how much they've actually been able to do to it. And we'll show in just a moment. We're going to switch screens, log on, and take a little run. It's just how much better the world looks and feels. It's something that you can really notice quite strongly. So, with that said, enough talking about it. Let's take a look at it. So, talk amongst yourselves for a moment. I'm going to grab myself a Warlords of Draenor screen.
I should probably add that the new character models are going to attract new players. Because when there is a game like Warlords and you just look at the customization, then you go play WoW, and the only good-looking models are Worgen, Goblin, and Pandarans. And it's terrible because maybe you want to play Orc, but he looks so dumb, you don't want to play him.
Well, of course, it is always preferences.
His face is terrible.
But all of the models are still going through revisions and being updated. We've got to be fair and say to people, this is alpha. It's a long way from this isn't even a beta product yet. So we're going to expect a few rough edges, but we're just going to give people a general look. Now, we're going to turn around and see what's wanted from the chat here, I think. We're going to create ourselves a brand new character and show people what the very beginning looks like. So there we go. Taking a templated character, because we can't yet copy an EU account through into the US. Becoming later, but we can't do it right now. And they're focusing on Frostfire, which means, of course, we have to be Horde. So boo, Hiss sucks to be Alliance right now, but that'll be coming down the line a little bit later. So what do we want to be? Do we have any requests for anything anywhere? We can pick...
Orc female.
Well, that's we know that you like all females, Trolden, but there might be other people out there that have other views of life. Part of this, we're going to bounce this one to you.
I want a blood elf, female, druid.
Blood elf.
No, actually, the blood elf models are not in the game yet, the new ones, and they cannot play druid.
Okay. No, so I want an undead female druid.
No females, too.
Should we go for a Tauren druid?
Tauren. Okay. I think Tauren.
I want a troll female druid.
Nope. There's still
No,
not there in the
We're going to
game.
get
No, you guys aren't really giving me a choice, are you? I think you've decided what you want already, and you're just waiting for me to say it.
No, you can choose between orcs, both gender, and male Tauren.
I would like a male Tauren rogue, please, because I think rogue Taurens look funny.
They can't be rogues.
We're going to go for
Oh no!
go for
The
Tauren.
illusion of choice. Male Tauren Druid, then. Let's see what happens. Male Tauren. I want to see what the male Tauren
Going
looks
male
like.
Tauren. And we have a
There-
choice of
by the way-
warrior, paladin, hunter, priest, shaman, monk, druid, or death knight. Many choices.
Monk.
Handle it.
Actually, yeah, a big cow flying around, like kicking
That's
things would
awesome.
be quite cool. Yeah, but it's got to be male. Make it male, Mizpah.
Yeah, male. That's for sure.
Unless I'm missing something. That is indeed a male on the screen already.
Oh, it is.
We're gonna
It's a
go-
bit laggy for us.
We're going to
Yeah,
go
latency.
for monk. Okay. There's our little character.
By the way-
Now, we're going to set this up. We'll just hit randomize a few times. Do we like that one?
I can't see it yet, but the previous
gonna-
one, his feet are too big. Don't like it. Needs smaller
It's gonna
feet.
take a while for us to see
Yeah. Okay.
the Tauren.
We're going to go for one. I think we're going to get driver's choice here for what we go for. But you can see there's a lot of variation here. They do look good. They really do look good. There we go. That'll do.
Yeah, his feet are
the
smaller. I like
patches.
him.
And here we go. We're gonna make MMOBuff. No, we won't. We'll go with that. We'll go with MMOBuff.
The laughing cow.
The build is bugged though.
Okay. So we're creating our character, and this is what it looks like. We have.
Can I just put out
ourselves-
there? Anyone who makes a Tauren and has like one horn broken and one horn not broken, that's just like you can't play an MMO for like hundreds of thousands of days and like have like a lopsided character. That would drive me insane.
But it could,
No one
be
can
part,
hit that.
it could be part of the backstory. He could have been dropped on his horn as a baby. It might have snapped off.
No, everyone has enough OCD that will bug them. Like there is not a person on the planet that wouldn't bug.
I contend with
No.
you, sir. There's going to be someone out there that's going to be bugged by them being symmetrical.
I feel ill just by looking at this now. I don't think I can watch the stream anymore.
Terrible. Oh my god.
I'm so glad I picked a character of your liking. There he is, in all of his glory.
His
And,
feet are too big as well.
someone that's never ever played a rogue, ever. So this is going to be
Monk,
interesting.
you mean?
Monk. Nor a
You just
rogue.
jab.
Both statements are true.
You just jab, kick, and all that. It's fine.
I just wave my feet and things die. Hopefully.
You got massive feet, so you can't miss them. Bit too big, though. I think.
all the better to plant in the enemy's face, surely.
Maybe.
They're not that big, by the way. It's they look like that for all Taurens.
He's got clown feet.
So
You
currently-
gotta choose
The kids are going to make fun of him at school. They're going to call him Bigfoot.
I think you're just not sort of racially adjusted to Taurens yet. I think he might be called small-footed, but we're any smaller.
I don't know. I moved my main to Horde and I made her a Tauren, and I felt really upset. I felt like I didn't know my own character anymore. Made me quite sad.
You did just kind of cross the faction divide, so that would make a few changes to the character. So this is the screen that you get when you very first log in. Default UI. A lot of people won't have seen the default UI in quite a while. There's tons of add-ons out there people prefer to use, and I'm one of those. And we're surrounded by camel hoarders, but of course I'm a camel hoarder myself at this moment in time. And we have a view of life, and straight away we can see things are a little bit more interesting. The detail on the characters are paramount. We've got the sort of the melt steam, I guess it is, or whatever I'd call it, rising over on the left. And we have the fire crackling away in the background. But as always, in all these things, it starts with saying, look, there's a yellow icon. And we have to go and see Farseer Drek. Hello, Drekthar. What do you have to say to us? And we pick out our first thing, which is out of the fire into the frost. We have made it home. Now, we might not know all of the story here yet. We know bits, we've seen hints, and we always know that there's going to be one of those cinematics coming along. And whatever people like or don't like about Blizzard games, I have never ever found anyone that does not think the cinematics are absolutely fantastic. So we're
They
waiting
are.
with bated breath. On installing the client the other day, it replayed the Pandaren one for me, and I just hadn't seen that in a while. And even now, I'm looking back and going, this is phenomenal. Fun, engaging artwork. So I still think they've got the bar for that sort of animation.
I just want to point out, because I was sat in on Sips' stream earlier today. He was playing this alpha. When you hand in quests, apparently there's a thing in the alpha at the moment which makes a really loud noise every time you hand one in.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
The case.
We shall find
Yeah,
out.
so the best thing to do, Mizpah, is to do lots of quests and then hand them all in really quickly all at once, so that everyone on the stream can just endure it for a little bit, and then anyone who's got hearing afterwards can enjoy the show.
Okay.
Actually, it happened to me when I was playing yesterday. When you just go to the other subzone,
Alright.
there are small subzones in the game. You go to a different one.
Shall we hand a quest in? I seem to have.
Cover your ears,
I seem to
everyone.
have Troll Scrub telling me to stop dancing. I
Who
wonder
is
that's
Troll
strange.
Scrub?
I have no idea who Troll Scrub could possibly be.
He is a scrub.
Clearly.
I'm out of here.
We don't want his type around here, do we? So, I've shooed him away. Go away, Troll Scrub. Out of the fire, into the frost.
Oh, it's Trolden! Oh, now I get it. Oh.
That was slow.
Oh.
And we have a song
Sneaky.
of frost and fire. We have to go and meet Duratan. So, straight away, it's interesting from a lore perspective. You're straight into a major character in the game. Now, I've not set my bars up. I've not really done much of anything yet, but I'm going to follow these guys. We know his eyes don't work very well. And
I can explain that, by the way.
please do.
As you see, you have half of the experience already. That's because there's going to be a quest chain in the Tanan jungle, I think it's called, and you're going to get half of your experience there. So you're going to see all the warlords there, and you're going to help Duratan escape to Frostfire Ridge. Spoilers.
So indeed, we are coming in partway through. But it's an interesting place to come in because we're going to be thrown into one of the new concepts of the game in just a moment. But again, I find myself looking around. Straight away, it's an interesting landscape. You can see little details. We've got the detail on the cloaks. You can tell there's a major refresh going on here.
The
So,
sky is absolutely fantastic, I think. Especially the huge moon, or whatever that is, like random planet. I can show you. Follow the bear. It's
we're
here.
just going to say hello to Duratan first.
Okay, sure.
We're now picked up on wolves and warriors. Now, this is where I go, ooh, I need to mount. Now, bars aren't quite set up at this moment in time, so what we need to do is we're going to go here, and I have my 461 mounts, because I've obviously collected every single one of them, clearly. And
Have they upped the shaders in this
we're going
game?
to go for this one.
He does look good, doesn't he?
He does.
looks beautiful.
The difference is from seeing screenshots to seeing things move, and when you're actually controlling that character, is quite big.
They've upped the shaders in this game as well, by the looks of it. As well.
They didn't.
See,
They did that. They did that in Mizpah Pandaria.
Oh, right, that's why it looks
And I
like
haven't tweaked the settings. These are just the default settings it's loaded on. And I've discovered...
It's probably on high right now.
Now, hopefully they went this way. Because I wasn't paying
It's
any
very
attention. I
shiny.
was talking.
Oh my god, that mountain is ferocious.
That's because it is ferocious.
It looks like it's going to eat you.
Where are we going, Trolden? Where are we headed? Where are you taking me?
Yeah.
Imagine if you had that mount on a gnome.
So look, here's the first bug. The Frostfire Groundling is actually supposed to hold the that creature, but it looks buggy, as you can see.
Well, we'll see what actually happens. I mean, as said, this is alpha. We are expecting to see that sort of thing around the place. But we want to go and speak to these chaps over here, and we want to start this rather interesting experience. Here we go. And you've brought friends, and I've not even got an ability on my bar. Ah, there we go. And, yes, it's another character straight from the lore. It's a thrall. Of Wolves and Warriors handed in. And... can't believe I just said that live. I'm not allowed to say for the Horde, I'm Alliance.
You're a traitor.
Apparently I am, but I now just go and plant the banner. Can I do nasty things to the banner instead?
Nope.
Oh.
You shouldn't do that.
That's not very nice, I suppose. So I have planted a banner, and we have a portal to Orgrimmar, and we're going to meet an old friend. Who do we have there?
It's Gazlo, by the way.
Did we see him earlier? We're seeing him in Hots. We're seeing him in Hearthstone. He's getting all over the place. And as he says,
I don't think he's in Hearthstone.
Am I going crazy? Possibly. Had I seen him?
Yeah.
We shall have to wait and see.
He's definitely in Heroes of the Storm, but not in Hearthstone.
Who was in the No, I'm thinking of one of the others in the tutorial. I'm thinking of Mana Storm for some reason. Not him. He does need to make an appearance though soon. And we see something new we haven't seen before. We see Garrison Architect. Now we've spoken about these a few times, and this is the first time we actually run into them. So at this phase of the alpha, you're straight into garrisons. It naturally takes you there. And it starts to build up the story of how you build your garrison and what changes, and it does illustrate how the feature actually rolls out. So I'm just going to click an award at random, because we're going to jump out of this in a minute. No particular pick, no particular build. And back to work. So we need some lumber. And fans of old Warcraft here are going to find this quite amusing. Do you remember the RTSs, Parv?
I do remember the RTSs, yeah.
And
they were great.
We're going to just make sure we've got some sound here. I hear quests being handed in. There we go. No, I'm just getting disabled no matter how many times I click that. That's probably me clicking the wrong keyboard shortcut. Control S.
Are you all about key bindings even when you're questing?
Yes, and I haven't set up any keybinds or anything here at all yet. So we're going to go to interface. We're going to go to, let me remember where this is. I want to get the sound back. We go system. We go sound. We enable the sound. There we go. I'll turn that sound quality down. Sorry, not the quality, the volume. Let's put the quality back up to high, in fact. And we're going to reduce the volume a touch. There we go. Hopefully
apparently that noise thing doesn't get disabled when changing the volumes as well, just to warn you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. But the bit I was trying to show people may have already played. Do we recognise what's going on here? These look rather familiar. Yes, we have the peons from original Warcraft fame. The ones that had to run around going,
Zap zap!
Work!
Zap zap! Thing you doing?
Absolutely.
Whoa,
and that really made me chuckle. And the bit where the
that was amazing, man.
We just missed. We seem to have a large rocket here. We have a large rocket.
You need to build more ziggurats!
I don't think they're quite up for ziggurats yet, but they're probably going to get to it. So we need some
lazy
trees.
peons.
Trees marked for peons. Right. So I need to mark some trees to be cut down. Let them do the rest. Now, I feel tempted not to run too much more of this. I've just shown people what's here. We're going to be doing some dedicated streaming on it. But I don't want to put too many spoilers out yet for those people that might not have been expecting it. But I do like the way you log in, you're in this phase of the alpha, and you're straight into something new and shiny. And it does hark back to that original Warcraft feeling, which was, to me, the real thing that came across with the BlizzCon announcement. So,
oh my god, there's a giant scorpion.
That sounds bad. Are we allowed a giant scorpion?
That's so cool.
The giant scorpion you get for reputation with Claxi faction in Mr.
I
Pandaria.
much prefer the Ashes of Alar, our Phoenix friend.
Yeah, at least you have it here. You'll never get it on live though.
Maybe I already have it.
Nah.
Maybe this is my mount collection, but I actually have every single one of these.
Sure. I believe you.
I think Trolden's going to call for me to be nerfed in a minute.
Maybe on one of those private servers that you've been playing on Mizpah, but...
Never played on one of those. I just work hard. So no, we don't have quite that many mounts. I think I actually have a very small number of mounts. I used to put all my effort into my main character, and not so much on sort of accessories like pets and mounts, but armor and shiny ears and guns, being a dwarf hunter and all that jazz. So, there you go, Parv. You've had a quick look at it. What springs to mind?
I need to play it, I think. It does look very shiny, but I might be being wowed by some of the step up that happened in Pandaria, because I did start playing Pandaria a couple of months ago. I did play through and level up my characters and stuff, but it was just like this big Easter egg hunt where I was looking for epics, and I don't know, it was just a bit weird. It wasn't what I expected when I came back. But everything does look really shiny, so I mean, as long as the story's good and the quests are good. I think the quests have generally been good in the past 2 expansions as well. They've been very entertaining. Everything from Cataclysm onwards, they've really stepped it up. So I'll definitely level through. I don't know whether I'll have time to raid in this one, but
I must definitely tell you that the questing at Pandaria was the best storytelling-wise. Like, the best story is probably in Wrath of the Lich King, and for obvious reasons. But the story in Mr. Pandaria was really great because you had Warlock show explaining stuff, and you had voiceover for most of the quests, and that was amazing. And I must say that this game right now, in the current state, looks better than Wildstar. Seriously, this is like I'm 100% sure.
I think to me it's
I'm going to come out
a
and say it.
choice. I'd struggle to say which one looks better or worse. There is a certain comforting familiarity to the art style in Warcraft. We've had it around for a long time. We've got used to it over a number of years. It's like sitting down in front of a comfortable fire with a glass of something entertaining, and that's no bad thing. I mean, they use that familiarity and comfort with the IP with Hearthstone really effectively.
Well,
it's nostalgic.
If that's what WoW is, then Wildstar in comparison would be like someone taking a big neon strobe light while you're trapped in a chair, like in Clockwork Orange, and your eyes have been like pulled open, and it's like, you've done a quest, everything's gone crazy, boom, 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 level up, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is like nice. It's like, I'm a cow and I'm just going to be in a field and kill some shit.
It's a different aesthetic, and they're different games. It's difficult to say, where people's preferences are going to lie. They're both going to offer a different experience. And to be honest, in the MMO market, that is no bad thing. There's a lot of MMO players out there.
It's just who goes free to play first.
You are full of optimism, Mr. Parv.
I don't know,
do you ever see Warcraft going free to play?
No, I don't. I think it's the one exception to the rule.
It's like Hunger Games, but free-to-play games, and it's you get 12 MMORPGs, and the last one that's gonna go free-to-play is the best one.
It's an interesting thing. We spoke about it on the previous Monday MMOBuff show. We talked about the free-to-play transition, and we interviewed the CEO of Treon Worlds, and he made a very interesting quote. There's an article emerging and a sound clip lurking out there you can listen to. And they were waiting for the moment when they felt that they could go free to play because of the benefits of accessibility that they wanted to offer players. The biggest barrier to entry is getting hold of a box. They wanted to allow everyone to do that. But they waited till there wasn't perhaps the negative connotation that there used to be towards going free to play. It's certainly fair to say, I think, that it's becoming more and more accepted, and they've got the market research that shows it's no longer the issue that it was.
That's a very convenient way of putting it, though. Like, it wasn't cool at the time to take people, to give it away free. But after a while, we thought, it'd be better to give it away for free. Like, we chose to, obviously. The thing is that apart from WoW, this whole MMO industry has just been cycles of people spending years and years making these huge worlds and developing these massive MMOs, and they're all great. A lot of them are really good, and a lot of them don't get enough publicity, and people don't get to see a lot of what gets put into it, especially post-releases where people play them for a week or two, they level up, and then they go, oh, there's nothing left of this. And they poo-poo it and go back to WoW or whatever. But in the end, it does create this sort of absurd cycle where you spend 6 years on a game, it's cool for 2 or 3 months, and then it goes free to play and dies. I'm not sure that any of these other competitors are going to be able to deal with Draenor. Blizzard have so much money they can ride out any kind of fallen in players. They can do whatever
That's
they
not
want.
true. The Blizzard is not Valve. They cannot do that.
You don't think they can?
Definitely.
I would have to say I suspect they could if they needed to. But to be honest, this is a very experienced company. One of, if not the most experienced MMO outfits out there. And they're going to be working on the basis of creating a good game, creating content, building on the IP, the experience and the exposure they have. And I'm sure a lot of people will get a lot of long-term enjoyment out of the game. I do think the MMO market is maturing. I think it's continually growing up as time goes on. I think there's room for different models. I don't think although it's my personal preference, I don't think there's room for a lot of AAA sub-maintained games, but I do think there's room for more than one. And I have a sneaking suspicion we're starting to see that happen, but it's going to take a few months. It's going to take a few months to see where things pan out. But it's like people saying, I like Ferraris, and I like Porsches. And everyone with a Ferrari saying, the Porsche is awful. Or those people with Porsches going, Ferraris are terrible. And if you look at it analytically, you stand there going, I'd quite like one of each, actually.
Perhaps, but you can't really commit to two MMOs. There's not enough hours in the day to really fully play. You can drive two cars. You could drive on one day, and the Ferrari is still in your garage, and it's not going to be a detriment.
The analogy is getting a little weaker there because most people can't put both a Ferrari and a Porsche in their garage at the same time.
Perhaps, but again, that's another thing. The people that would like to have both are exempt from the market because they can't afford to pay for two MMOs at the same time.
It does limit it, which makes people make a hard choice. And of course, you've got new shiny, different gameplay mechanics, and you've got the continuation of your story and character and the investment you've made. And I think some people are going to go one way, some are going to go another. But this is an MMO Buff Monday night topic to come back on and chew the fat on in 6 months' time. So we may have to get you on that show for that particular episode because we will do that episode.
My point is actually very simple. It's that I think the next MMO will be on console, and I think it will probably be full of cats and shiny things and twinkle twinkles, and it'll probably have a League of Legends minigame in it. That's what I think it will be.
Are you talking about Final Fantasy game?
I really hope it doesn't have a Flappy Birds minigame in it, and as long as it doesn't, I will be happy.
Well, actually, Flappy Bird is after you kill a boss, everyone plays Flappy Bird, and whoever gets the highest number gets the most DKP. And then, that's how it works.
You've just invented the Flappy Bird DKP loot distribution system. Can I just say
yeah, I think that's great.
No. I would rather have almost any system in the world other than that one. Thank you very much.
I would definitely go to those raids.
I would imagine like hard mode only boss in World of Warcraft, which has like the last phase where you have to play this game and then you like reach score to 100, like every person in the raid. That would be awesome. The most hardcore thing ever.
No.
But then what happens is all the puppies and all the pub scrubs go, oh, but we paid and we didn't get to see content.
That doesn't actually happen.
Now, you raise a point there.
No.
When you say people saying, well, I've paid for the game, I want to see content. And again, we're seeing changes in sort of the grouping and community model in Draenor to allow that to happen. Yet, perhaps this time around, to try and protect the experience of those that want the competitive raiding scene a little more. And of course, we've spoken in previous weeks about how they're starting to do that. Different raid sizes, mythic, the role of flex to allow accessibility and to allow people to see and follow story. Yet the new approach. What do we think as a whole of storytelling in Warcraft and in Draenor? Because they're still placing elements of the story inside of raid content. And we're going to go for about 5 minutes on this one and then maybe look at a wrap-up. So here's our MMO question. Do we still think it is a good idea to spread story across multiple game styles and types? Because if the story's good, you want to consume it all. And is that a good thing if it pushes people towards all the different playstyles and content?
Yeah, but if the game promotes the story and actually makes you go to that specific raid or dungeon, so you're gonna see it, it's a good thing.
I mean,
Like
it
in
could
Mr.
do something.
Pandaria. Like in Mr. Pandaria, when you play the first zone, the Jade Forest, if you complete it all, you're gonna see what happened in the dungeon. Like there was a dungeon, I don't remember the exact name. It was the Temple of Jade Forest, I think. And basically you could go, it was a peaceful place, then Shot has taken over. You could see that by doing quests, and then you go like into the dungeon and help the guys fight the Shot corruption, which is great because you play through the whole zone and you know what's happening. This is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And the voiceover that they have actually done for most of the quests in Mr. Pandaria, like the main story quests, helped out a lot because you didn't actually need to read the quests. You could just listen to it.
Yeah,
The amount of voiceover in Mr. Pandaria was absurd. Like Cataclysm and Wrath of the Lich King is nothing compared to it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they did raise the bar in terms of that in a landscape where voiceover was being used more and more at the time. And we'll see. We'll spend some more time here and see if they've continued that trend.
I'm a little bit disappointed actually when I played WildStar because I was like, oh, there's no voices. I actually have to read stuff, and I hate reading stuff. So I was like, nah, not having this. Like, I don't even.
I was disappointed. I was also disappointed. I was like,
Yeah.
What? Like, we have voiced over quests in World of Warcraft. And I think in Star Wars, The Old Republic, everything is voiced over.
Yeah, that blew
So
my
I was
mind
like-
when that happened.
Yeah, that disappointed me a lot.
Everything is voiced in SW Tour. I mean, the whole fifth pillar story as an element is something they were massively into, and it's probably the one element they did really, really well. But the more you focus on one area, of course, you're going to take time, development cost focus away from other areas, perhaps, unless your budget is unlimited. And I think it's again, not the time and place for that level of analysis, but I think possibly there are some other elements in SW Tour that they didn't do quite so well.
But that's why I think, in your analogy, it's not a choice between a Ferrari and a Porsche. It's a choice between a Ferrari and something like a guy down the road who makes sports cars himself. It's like you don't know if that company's going to be around. You don't know if the parts are going to be, replaceable. You don't know these things because it's a much higher risk purchase. If you see what I mean. Like if you invest in these characters, you've got to when you're choosing between the two, like it's like, oh, my character I've had for 10 years in WoW, he's not going anywhere. His legacy is going to carry on probably. Or investing in the WildStar character. But you see what I'm getting at? Like he might break down and you can't replace his spark plug or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be experiencing yet another timeline universal reality stream shift, and there will be two Mizpahs diverging and going forwards from this point.
But as with the original MMO question, I think it's always like some of my favorite parts of WoW have been the times when I've played through things that were previously in Warcraft 3. For instance, one of my favorite like fuck yeah moments was when I was in the Caverns of Time, and I realised that we were playing the Culling of Stratholme, and I was like, oh my god, I remember playing this in Warcraft 3, and we're doing it again, and like there's Arthas, and all this, and I was like, yes, this is going to be great. And Valve do it as well in a lot of their games. Like, you play one game, you get a hat, for like, I don't know, you play some Dota, you get a hat for Team Fortress 2, stuff like that. It's rewarding, you invest people, and Blizzard have a great platform to do this as well. Imagine you pub raid a boss in World of Warcraft, and that gets you a card in Hearthstone, or that unlocks a hit. Like, I don't know, you beat a boss and then you get that character in Heroes of the Storm. Like, there's so many cool things it can do with it. It can only feed investment.
They're doing that better and better, actually. Recently, you had the Hearthstone Mountain Whale for playing so many games. I mean, if I turn around and do this, and I grab Pandera off the shelf behind, you can already see the crossover, all the stuff they've got going on, because you've got your elements for Diablo, you've got your elements for other games, and I think we're just going to see more and more of that. I see that as no bad thing. It's giving you extra value and encouraging you to move around the IP.
Totally, and as well, just unlocking skins and things like that as well, all kinds of cosmetics as well, not just unlocking actual things that you wouldn't be able to play. Just as let's say you're playing a game of Heroes of the Storm and you've got a special skin, which means you've done some sort of like hard mode or something.
Now, that would be good. I mean, I would like to see these be based on higher level achievements rather than just having put a code. Now have
But
this.
that's definitely what people want, though, because if that's the case, I can go into Heroes of the Storm and be like, not only do people like I get a great score or whatever, but like people know that I'm also like awesome and at the cusp of like raiding in this game, or like I'm like a gladiator or whatever, PvP or something like that. Same with like having a Hearthstone card that looks a bit different.
Yeah, can you imagine a gladiator PvP card back or something of that nature? I'm sure there would be those people that go say, hey, that's unfair, why did they get that stuff? Because I don't play that other game. To me, that's life.
Well, it's cosmetic.
As long as everyone has the opportunity to decide to do so, it's up to them whether they make that decision.
I don't think Blizzard even have to dignify that with a response. It's like, well, that's a reward in the game. It's like saying, oh, well, you got this like critter, I don't know, that you can follow around in WoW because you bought the collector's edition. It's like... Yeah, they bought the collector's edition. It is a cosmetic. If it's not giving someone a statistical advantage, if it was like, oh, you get a special gem that you can sock it in with extra stamina, then that's unfair. But to just have that, as long as it's not pay to win, I think it's great.
Yep, and you raise a good point. Trolden?
Yeah?
Would you like to weigh in on that topic? Are you happy with stuff transporting between IPs?
Yes, but I feel like they could do more. Seriously more. Like... adding maybe some cards from World of Warcraft. For example, imagine they've released Warlords of Draenor, and the last boss, it's let me see. I think his name is Warlord Blackhand. Imagine defeating Warlord Blackhand gives you golden card in Hearthstone, which you can craft, but it still gives you like a card for free for defeating the boss. Let's say, heroic mode, which is like the normal one.
Yeah. I don't mind that as long as it's still available to those players that don't play. I would also be happy if, for example, they had a gold version of the card that was only available to people that completed the raid. I don't mind if there's a cosmetic that's limited, but in terms of having a base card, it kind of has to be available to everyone.
Of course.
In my view. But on that note, I think it's time to wrap things up a little. We'll see if we have any questions lurking we may want to handle post-show. But it's probably time to tell people about a few things that are coming up later in the week, because it's going to be a busy week for MMO Buff. I do hope that you guys are going to find time to tune in for everything else we have happening, because tomorrow we have the data mine. And on the data mine, we have Team 17 with us. So we're going to be talking to the creative lead from there, talking about a few different things. On Friday, it is Cosmotronic. It's the other new shiny in the world of MMOs at the moment. And again, we have the UK Community Manager, Anlath, on the show to answer your various questions. So do keep an eye out. Now, we may be moving our start time for that show back by about 30 minutes, so we can just start after the official WildStar stream. Monday, we're back to MMO Buff. Tuesday, we're back to Campfire. And then you're going to be back with us again. So we'll have to start working on that. So, Parvis, you now get to say an interesting, erudite, sophisticated, and charming goodbye.
Oh, right. What's an erudite?
But you have to guess now if you don't know. We'll compare it to the dictionary definition.
I assume erudites is like bigging myself up. I assume that's what it means.
Not quite.
You mentioned that Team 17 are coming. Yeah, go watch that. I actually recently played their new game. What was it? It was at some gaming show. I've forgotten the name of it.
Rezzed.
Yeah, the sheep game. Yeah,
yes,
it was really good. Yeah. Was it Rezzed I went to? I went to one of those things.
Yes,
yeah,
you were there.
That was. I was there. Yeah, there we go. I was there. Yeah, I went to Rezzed.
You signed lots of pieces of paper for some reason.
Yeah, I did. Like, people want my scribble. Like, I don't understand why. Like, it's
because you're erudite.
My erudite. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I'm Parv. I came from a womb, and it's been lovely talking to you all, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll see you all later. Au revoir.
Fabulous. And Mr. Sophisticated and Suave himself, Trolden. Time for you to say something interesting as you say goodbye.
Thank you for watching the show. I'm going to DreamHack in 3 days. So hopefully it's gonna be fun. If you want, you can come over there and see me on DreamHack. I'm not gonna play competitive games. I'm just gonna be wandering around, making photos, maybe enjoy myself. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you next time.
And he'll be back, and he'll be sleep deprived for sure. But I'm afraid that's the burden you have to bear, Trolden. So on that note, it's time to do two things. Firstly, we're going to be a big shout out to our missing host tonight, Blank Space, who's been running around with a few brush-ins with a hospital. Those of you that follow his stream will know. So he had various bits and pieces of surgery today, and we wish you very, very well. And we hope to have you back with us next week. And also, thank you to Pseudo for live producing the show. Say goodbye, Pseudo.
Goodbye, Pseudo.
There you go. On that note, this is Mizpah, as always, signing off for MMOBuff.
Greetings, everyone. Thanks for watching Blizzard Forecast Episode 7, Alpha Access Ahoy, where we had Trolden, Parv, and Mizpah looking and playing a game of Heroes of the Storm. Will they ever win? Also, we had Dr. Marshmellows, Trolden, and Pseudo looking at the latest cards from Hearthstone. And then finally, we revealed the Alpha Access, stream-worthy content coming from Warlords of Draenor. If you like what you're seeing, please click like, share, and subscribe. Remember, every little bit helps. Also, remember the word wallabies. It's important. Toodle pip.